So over the past few days, 4 days ago, what is this? There we go. Over the past few days, 4 days ago, when I uploaded the video on YouTube, and a week ago since the stream was aired on twitch.tv, link in the box below, of course, twitch.tv, where I do my live streams first and foremost and on time. There's been a hubbub in the community, and the hubbub comes in the form of Ronor Zoro, Basil Hawkins, and then somehow, some way, Vince Smoke Sanji. And I find it a little bit ridiculous on the side of a lot of Zoro fanboys. Because when you look at the Zoro fanboy-dom, right, over the past few days, what I've been seeing is, to an extent, because I don't think Zoro took an L in chapter 913, but I've been seeing some damage control. It is very obvious, clear damage control, even though the damage control isn't really necessary, considering that Zoro, at least the way I see it, didn't take an L. Furthermore, what a lot of the Zoro fanboys have been doing over the past few days is that they've been downgrading Hawkins, because Hawkins, I would argue, was fairly impressive in the last chapter, but a lot of them are downgrading Hawkins to prop up Zoro, and then for some reason Sanji's thrown in there as well. And it's like, what's happening right now? Like, currently, the Zoro fanboy-dom, because Zoro is back in action, the way I see the fandom's tenacity is kind of similar to the way I saw the Itachi fanboys in Naruto. Like, the Itachi fanboys could be very rabid. I can understand to an extent because Itachi, cool character, a lot of weight, and so on and so forth. Itachi had a lot of good things going for him in Naruto. But towards the end of the series, it was like, no, like, this is stupid. What are we doing? But even still, the Itachi fanboys is rabid. Like, no, you don't understand. Itachi's a guy. And Itachi could do no wrong. And in this case, Basil Hawkins taking on 2 Supernova in chapter 913. I'm not saying it's the case in a general sense, but for that one chapter, Basil Hawkins was the superior. Basil Hawkins and his henchmen were taking on Luffy and Zoro at the same time. And he showcased his abilities, and his abilities in, oh, dude, his abilities to me were very impressive. Very impressive. The potential of what Oda can do with Hawkins is very high. But, again, the Zoro fandom, the Zolo fandom comes in there. Like, nah, man, Hawkins sucks, Hawkins gets an L, and so on and so forth. They downgrade the innate concept of Hawkins' ability to prop up Zoro. It's like, why? So, before I get to that details, I want to go through some of these comments, because I asked during the live reaction on YouTube, I put in the comment section, Walkings or Lockings? Because I would say Walkings, but there are a lot of folks that said Lockings. And then in tandem to that, some folks said Loro, as you hear Mo King right here, Loro. I mean, all you have to do is say Zolo. But hey, here we go. Lockings for this chapter, unfortunately, that is the Gaming Bro. Then we have the one I liked, Stand Master Walkings, because his abilities are very, honestly, they're stand. Like, his Strawman's card is a bona fide stand without question. Then we have Thakos with the Lockings. We have Pel D. I didn't even, yo! Pel D. Okay, I'm liking this one right now. Pel, like it. Come on. There we go. Pel D. Indestructible with the Walkings. We have Moking, Walkings over Loro. It's too apparent, especially after Zoro commented on his strength and getting hit with nails of all things. And when I was in Dustin's stream, shoutouts to Dustin Reacts, check out his channel. Dustin Reacts had a stream talking about this topic, and I hopped in for a few minutes. One of the things I noticed in the chat was people were knocking on Sanji for getting tagged by a bullet when he was surrounded by the Big Mom Pirates carrying Luffy. They give him an L for that. But when Zoro takes shots by nails by Basil Hawkins, who for all intents and purposes, given the situation and given the combatants, is inferior, well inferior compared to what Sanji went through, Zoro does not get an L.
What is that?
Like, here's the thing. If you don't like Sanji, that's fine. You're entitled to it. I hate Chopper. But at the same token, people have been handing out L's left and right when L's, especially for Hawkins, like, how can people give Hawkins an L in 913? It's the weirdest thing. And he gets an L from the Zoro fanboys and the Zoro fandom. And then, again, they want to throw Sanji in there, but there are really no L's to be given here. On Sanji's side, when he was doing the Big Mom Pirates, because again, the Big Mom Pirates are far superior than Basil Hawkins. On Zoro's side, because Zoro and Sanji were protecting Luffy, and in this case, it was Luffy and Tama for Zoro, but he's dealing with Basil Hawkins, who is pulling no punches, as far as we know, and Hawkins' abilities are quite powerful. So it's a weird thing that people are so quick to give L's. L. Take this L. Take it. There are no L's to be given, but there are W's. And Hawkins gets a W, my personal opinion, but let's continue here. So, we have another one. We have Walkings. We have Straw Kings. That's anime TV right there. Straw Kings. Walkings. We have, so right here, King Kaido says Loro. I asked Walkings or Lawkings. He says Loro. Here's the thing, and I think folks forget about this. Zoro has had it extremely easy post-time skip. He has fought no one of note except for Fujitora. And Fujitora, of course, is an admiral, and he coasted him. He starts off with Hyuzo. Hyuzo's a joke. Well, actually, no, he starts off with pre-transformed Horty Jones. That's whatever. That doesn't matter, honestly. Then you have Hyuzo. The fishermen in general were just jokes of Shroud Pirates, ultimately. Usopp was actually confident fighting against fishermen. And then when he hit the New World, he went back to his scared self. So, fact of the matter is that the fishermen were no big threat at all. Then you have Monet. Monet sucks. She's an assistant. Arguably, Caesar Clown, from a combat standpoint, is better than Monet, truly. Then you have Fujitora. Of course, Fujitora is going to school Zoro because Fujitora's Admiral, and Zoro ain't there yet, clearly. He's clearly not there yet at Admiral level. But Fujitora doing his thing, and then Zoro gets blown back. But at the same time, he did fire an air cut at Fujitora, though Fujitora just blocked it with ease. But hey, it's Fujitora, so again, Zoro's not there yet, but one day he will be. And then after that, it was Pika. Pika's a joke. Aside from his DC and area of effect, Pika is whatever. But DC and area of effect alone can only take you so far. And Pika was a clear case of that, clearly. In this case, then, you look at what Zoro's been going through post-time skip. He's been cakewalking because his opponents have not been anybody of note, honestly, aside from against Fujitora. So here comes Basil Hawkins like, yo, flex, time to impress. And he impressed, okay. And Zoro struggling a bit because this is someone who, in a sense, has the same title that he does. He is someone of the worst generation. He is specifically a supernova. And not only that, but he is a captain. So a lot of folks would say that Hawkins is over Zoro. I would say the reverse. I would put Zoro over Hawkins, combat-wise. I really would. But at the same token, I can understand why folks think the reverse, where it's Hawkins over Zoro, because not only does Hawkins have the same bounty as Zoro, 320 a pop for both of them, but also Hawkins is a captain, and Zoro is simply a first mate. So from a portrayal standpoint, Hawkins have the edge, but I still think that Zoro is superior combat-wise than Hawkins. But let's continue here. So we have Semi Harris. We have a Lawkins right there. Right here we have, I don't understand, why do we have to go against each other, nicknaming characters L or W? We can't just enjoy the story because it's the fandom at large. The fandom at large, as of late, have decided to give L's and W's left and right. It is what it is there. KC, Mo King. So he's going to have Mo King. We have Super Hawkins with prep time seems OP. That's what I would say. We have N-Man. Zoro has not been wounded till now, and Fujitora, and even comments on Hawkins' strength. Definitely Walkings, and now Loro. And now Loro. Moking responds to KC, not spend the truth and that kind of stuff. And so it continues. But here's the thing that I want to say too. And I did notice this too when I was in Dustin's live stream. A lot of folks were basically saying, well, Hawkins took an L because Hawkins would have died to Zoro if not for his ability. But that's mind-numbing. That doesn't make any sense. Like, how can we give Hawkins an L for his ability? If not for Luffy's ability, he would have died several times over to NL. If not for his ability, when Von Auger shot Ace twice in the skull and through the chest, in an instant, Ace would have died. Therefore, Ace takes an L because Von Auger snipes him.
You can take your little offer and shove it up your...
What? That's Hawkins' ability. That's his power. Like, that's a weird thing. And then not only that, but Hawkins, again, he's dealing with Luffy and Law and Zoro at the same time. So, Luffy throws the lizard at Hawkins. Hawkins does his straw sword, and he stabs the lizard. And while dealing with that, Zoro comes in from the side and gets a shot on him. So, in a one-on-one situation, Hawkins has his full undivided attention to Zoro if Zoro and him fight. It's not a 2-on-1, and you can say, well, Hawkins had his fodder dudes, but they're fodder dudes. None of them are even low tier. Like, it's whatever with these guys. So let me get to some more of these responses right here. So here we have TM Flesh. Definitely Hawkins. Zoro only got injured because he was protecting Luffy and Otama. Zoro, on the other hand, landed 3 serious wounds on... that's not the case at all. He landed 1 shot out of the beginning when Hawkins is focused on the lizard that Luffy threw at him. From then on, he lands no clean blows on Hawkins at all. In fact, what happens is Zoro cuts the Strawman's card stand with his Nigiri attack, and then the damage from that goes over to Hawkins, which then goes over to when Hawkins is met. So Zoro only landed 1 clean shot, and that was when Hawkins wasn't even paying attention at Zoro. A couple of scratches from some nails. I mean, fine, whatever. Having your head cut open. But again, he didn't, because that's his ability, to make sure that his head is not cut open. Also, giving Hawkins power, you could say Zoro was fighting 1v10. How is he fighting 1v10? Luffy is there, right? So it's not like Zoro by himself is fighting 10 Basil Hawkins. That's a weird concept. Or however many dolls Hawkins happen to have. And even then, Zoro took out 3 before Hawkins landed a single scratch, and he only got that by targeting Otama. One of the dolls he lost because of friendly fire. Another doll he lost because of the Strawman's car being destroyed. And then again, the first shot was because of Zoro when he was getting Hawkins from the side when he was focusing on the lizard. So I see what TM is saying, in a sense. And even then, Zoro took out 3 before Hawkins landed a single scratch, and he only got that by targeting Otama. Well, he wasn't targeting Otama, he was just targeting them. In the end, it was obvious neither was going all out. But see, that's a strange thing too, because this is what I also heard when it comes to Zoro. Zoro wasn't going all out. And here's the thing. Yeah, he wasn't going, like, if he has the demon ability still, he wasn't using those. He wasn't using the 3,000 worlds and that kind of stuff. But it wasn't casual either. Like, that wasn't casual. Zoro was getting overpowered. Physically. Upper body strength is Zoro's forte. And he was getting overpowered by the Strawman's card. That's not necessarily a bad thing for Zoro. It just shows how good Hawkins is. Deciding a winner or loser from this small scuffle that was cut short is pointless. But if I have to make a call, the one who did the most damage takes the W. Fair. Again, like, I understand where TM is coming from, but I just feel like when it comes to the ability of the individual, you say take the most damage. Well, Zoro took the most damage. Hawkins took no damage. So it's like, we have to recognize that this is an ability of the individual. Imperial Line, Hawkins, obviously. Let me see the anybody that actually has something else to say that's more. Let me see here. Mo King. Doesn't Zoro depend on his swords to fight because Raid Suit. Okay, so this is where like the side stuff comes into play. TDP Neji, Hawkins, just Hawkins. I'm done seeing people butchering people's names with L and W. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's just a fandom. Let's see. Okay, so here we have OG. Anyone want to explain how Hawkins won? Or is it just Sanji and Hawking fanboys trolling? Zoro killed Hawkins twice and cut his giant voodoo doll in half, but Hawkins presumably won because Zoro was protecting a little girl and got clipped by Nails. So Zoro getting minor injuries over Hawkins losing 2 out of 10 dolls in less than a minute. Logic. Again, this is where things get weird because it doesn't matter, because the concept of Hawkins' ability allows him to get massively wounded and die several times over. So then how does Zoro win for not being able to damage Hawkins? Like, yeah, because of the voodoo doll damage, that went over to Hawkins, went over to one of Hawkins' boys. Okay, fine. Or no, the Straw Man's doll. And then the first time, again, the lizard, and Zoro comes from Hawkins' side. Again, I don't know how it's the Sanji fanboy. Like, what do we Sanji fanboys have? And by the way, I'm a Zoro fan too, don't get me wrong. I just prefer Sanji over Zoro. But then what do we have to do with this? This is the confrontation between Hawkins and Zoro, and then Sanji thrown in the mix. I remember someone during the stream asked me too, or someone donated, do you think Sanji would do better? But it's like, does it matter? Because this is about Zoro and Hawkins. And again, protecting a little girl. But wait a second, they already have the advantage from Jump because it was Luffy and Zoro. So at the end of the day, here's what I think it comes down to. I think that a lot of the Zoro fanboys, even though I don't think Zoro took an L, I would say that a lot of the Zoro fanboys have been damage controlling because Zoro didn't look good this time. Because Zoro actually faced somebody, aside from Fujitora, post-time skip, that was of note. And again, it was Hawkins. Someone that is a supernova in his generation. And instead of damage controlling, like a lot of the Itachi fanboys used to do back in the day, why not see it as this is actually a good chance? Because now that we know that someone like Hawkins can kind of push Zoro to the next level, even though Hawkins was taking on both Luffy and Zoro, which means that if Hawkins and Zoro do go one-on-one, then Zoro will have to put out even more effort to beat someone like Basil Hawkins. This will be a very good chance to showcase more of Zoro's combat ability. That's what I want to see. I want to see Zoro actually produce more from a combat ability standpoint and not fight guys that run away, not fight snow chick assistants or fishmen that are irrelevant. Like, Zoro has to have actual tough opponents. And Zoro should be getting plenty of that in Wano Kuni. The entire crew should finally, Robin should finally get a fight. Come on. The entire crew should be facing very powerful individuals in Wano Kuni. If Hawkins and Apu and Drake, if they decide to stick with Kaido through and through, then these guys are going to be very powerful opponents for the Sharks to take on. This is a good chance for Zoro. The fact that Hawkins tagged Zoro with Nails while simultaneously fighting against Zoro and Luffy is a testament to the skill of Basil Hawkins. Hawkins is a good combatant. Hawkins can deliver. Even though I put Zoro over Hawkins, Hawkins has just proven to us that nah, like he ain't no scrub. No. He's supernova for a goddamn good reason. But again, I think that the Zoro fanboys have to stop with the damage control. It's fine. It's fine. Zoro didn't take an L, in my personal opinion. Some folks say he did take an L. Fine. I can understand why. I can't understand the Hawkins thing because, again, people are knocking on Hawkins because of his Duffwood ability. I've never heard anybody do the same for Ace, or Kainu, or Aokiji, or NL, or Smoker, or Luffy. I've never, ever heard this until Hawkins. It doesn't matter if his ability requires prep, because it's still his ability. It's still Hawkins' ability. I feel like in general, right? Because in particular now you're really seeing the Zoro fanboy dumb. Just, yeah, no, of course not. You don't understand, man. He wasn't going all out. But stop with the damage control. Zoro got tagged. He protected Tama in the process. That's fine. But Hawkins in chapter 913 was the superior. That should be seen as a good thing because now, hopefully, if they do engage in combat again, we're going to see Zoro utilize more of his skills to try and take down Basil Hawkins. And seeing more of Zoro's skill when Zoro hasn't fighting anybody of note throughout the entirety of post-time skip should be seen as a good thing, not a bad thing. You don't have to damage control. Stop handing out L's. Again, Sanji has nothing to do with this at all. Sanji gets no L's. Hawkins gets a flat-out W. And Zoro gets no L's. And then when it comes to the other subgroup of people saying that Zoro's on Luffy's level. Stop. That's ridiculous, okay? So that being said, guys and gals, I am done. That's my stance on this topic. I just want to get my thoughts out there in a general sense here. No L's, only W's, and that's Basil Hawkins. Let me know where you stand, of course. The Zoro fandom showing bursts of the previous Itachi fandom. Calm down. So I'm going to see you guys and gals later. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do. I guarantee you that, because I know that you all have a device called Zamaosu. You use Zamaosu to click, rate the video, to click, subscribe, to click on that bell to join the squad. And of course, comment in the comment section down below. Peace. And have a nice goddamn day.